Hi Cookies, today we got a cookie run guide for you all about episode 16, Eternal City of Wizards, where we're going to give you the one team that will run through this entire episode for you here today. Now, we do cover story mode. We'll break in a little bit into dark mode because I'm saving a special episode for that, but you got to stay tuned for that. So with that said, thank you for tuning in today. Appreciate the likes and the subs. If you happen to have a question or comment, you let me know. I love to hear from you, and feel free to swing by the Discord server. All the support is much appreciated and great ways to stay connected here on the channel. Now, we'll break down the Eternal City of Wizards episode 16 for you. We're going to give you the team that's going to run through the whole thing for you as well. And last but not least, give you some additional tips and tricks and talk a little bit about dark mode before we go run that as well. So thank you for tuning in. Like I said, let's go ahead and break down episode 16, Eternal City of Wizards. So the big thing with episode 16, Eternal City of Wizards, is a few things as always. As you can see in the upper left here, we have a couple of things that we got to pay attention to. Those things are Dream of Doom. So again, your cookies will fall asleep. Now, some of your cookies will not face the Doom effect, like this one right here, Milky Way cookie, which is huge for you. Additionally, we have enemies that debuff resist increase here by 40%. We have shield capacity decreased by 65 and healing decreased by 65. There is a lot. Now, there is a couple new things here with these particular enemies out here. What are they, Mythras? Because this is key for your progression, particularly on this episode. If you remember in 15, if you caught my mode and guides as well, and in particular, those of you, multiple thousands of you, in fact, that have, and thank you for that, have watched 15-17 Wrecked Dining Car, we will break down each of these bosses as we do, but one of the key components to this boss was the number of hits on this boss and clicks to break the shield down in order to deal damage. Now that holds true for episode 16 as well. Now the only key difference, and there's a reason why I'm bringing that up first there, is this. It starts to happen here on the enemies as well. So some of the enemies throughout the episode are going to have that. Obviously my power level is fairly high relative to this. One of the things that will get you stuck is if you don't use this particular team, we'll talk about this here in a second, you may not get through because of those ticks and clicks that you need to hit to break that barrier and that shield down, because you're not getting enough damage in fast enough or hits in fast enough to break through and take those enemies out in your cookie run. The other big one here is these enemies also have sleep that will inflict damage and injury, for instance. So you can really quickly lose that health meter, and it's a huge problem. That wasn't something that we actually faced in episode 15 that we're facing in episode 16. So I wanted to break some of those things down in terms of tips and tricks here for those enemies. Additionally, talk about some of the stuff that bridge between 15 and 16, because it is very important for us. Now, in terms of the bosses, I will go through and do a detailed guide for you as well. So that's one thing that you can definitely hang in there for. 1616 Lonesome Graveyard of Stars. So if we pop into this guy real quick, same thing. The enemies have the ticks that you need, and so does this boss. So it is a big thing to pay attention to, that you're going to have to worry about, because once they have the shield, you need those energy barrier shield. You need those ticks in to take this boss down. Same thing with the last boss here. You want to make sure that you're dealing enough damage as fast as you can to remove those ticks in order to overcome and beat the episode. Now, let's go ahead and talk about our team here. So our team absolutely, positively can run all the way through this for you, from 16-1 all the way to each of those bosses. Now, one of the key reasons that you'll see here that I did this on purpose and waited to level up my team is for you for a particular reason. I wanted to see if we could get through this entire story mode for you at level 70. That is correct, which you are able to do. So that is another tip and trick there for you to keep in mind. If you're struggling, let me know. I love to hear it in the comments. Certainly going to level 70 is going to make a huge difference. We have a very, very perfect power level here that's still higher than the 491, and we talked about a lot of those key pieces. Here's the team that gets it done for you. First off, we got Pure Vanilla. Pure Vanilla is one of the strongest cookies in the game. I consider it the #1 cookie because it has the injury alleviation here. That injury alleviation is going to keep your team alive. It is a big, big deal. Now, again, we still have low healing and we have low shield. Even though we do get shield with Pure Vanilla and some here with Financier Cookie, it's not enough. We need to keep that heal going. Cotton candy, love some cotton candy, works really well here because the sheep herd that you're going to get, the sheep stampede, is going to add up on a lot of those ticks as well. We get the heals, makes a huge difference for additional support. Then we have Sherbet Cookie. Sherbet Cookie has 15 frost shards, tons and tons and tons of those ticks that I talked about. Additionally, they stack and continue to do damage. Works great against bosses. So again, this team will run all the way through for you. Then we have Milky Way Cookie. Milky Way Cookie here, again, continues to have those clicks. It's got self-healing, the locomotive charge, 12 ticks that I talked about. And then additionally, you get the resistance here from the Dreams and Dreams of Doom effect, for instance. So you got a little bit of security there on that. And then last but not least, we have Financier Cookie. Financier Cookie is the Paladin of Protection, which is beautiful. Again, great defense, upfront cookie, providing shields and providing tons of resistance for your entire team and survivability, which is beautiful. So cookies, that is the key breakdown for you in terms of episode 16. We also covered the team. Let's go ahead and look at these real quick because I know a lot of you like to ask as well about the toppings. So if we go into the toppings here, we are running Milky Way Cookie on Swift Chocolate. We have Financier here on Solid Almond. We have Syrian Raspberry for Sherbet. We have our Swift Chocolates here for Cotton. And then last but not least, we have Swift Chocolates for Pure Vanilla. Now, I do have detailed guides on each of these cookies that you can check out here on the channel as well, and some of the rationale why behind that as well. So that is a breakdown there for you on those pieces. Now, the last thing that I do want to cover here, as I said I would mention, let's go ahead and take a look at dark mode. So certainly I believe that this team is going to make it through dark mode. There is a reason why, like I said, I haven't gone to 70 yet, and I talked about that. The big thing here is when we go to 16, boom, did you see that power level? Huge. We went from like 400, 500 on the enemies to over 2x in terms of that. So we certainly need to get this team to level 70. So I look forward to putting that guide together for you as well here on the channel. So stay tuned for that. So to close this all out, we broke down episode 16. We talked about a lot of the key differences and considerations that you're going to have to make. We gave you the team. We gave you the toppings for the team as well. Check out the additional information here on the channel. Great stuff for you. And then also gave you the prelude and precursor here for dark mode 16 as well. So I look forward to breaking those things down for you here on the channel along with the boss guides. So stay tuned for that. Appreciate the likes and the subs. Appreciate your support as always. Please let me know if you have a question or comment. I love to hear from you, and feel free to swing by the Discord server. All right, cookies, we'll see you again soon. Let me know how episode 16 goes for you, and I look forward to hearing from that. All right, take care, cookies. Until next time, Mythras out of here.